We putting work, turning nothing into something. They feelings hurt, we turning nothing into something. Give a fuck if they don't like me, cause all this bread I count excites me. Turning nothing to something, nothing into something, turning nothing into something.
What up, what up, what up, what up? What's going on, everybody? What is going on? And welcome to what? Blunt Thoughts Live episode 66. 66. And on a different day than we usually do this. Usually do it on Sunday nights, but we had some stuff going on. We also wanted to have a guest, and his availability was tonight. So we pushed it off to today, and we're excited to do this. Listen, early on this winter, we were doing something we called the Mets Super Fan. And the gentleman that's going to join me today, he may not be a super fan, but he is the embodiment of what I think is a super fan. It may be for the Yankees, which we don't really fuck with. It may be for the Nets, which we definitely don't fuck with. It may be for the damn Cowboys, which we don't want anything to do with. But he is a super fan, and he shows it all the time. And he's been able to take his fandom to places that at least I would have liked to have gone at one point. You know what I'm saying? And I know there's other people that would like to do that, even if they try to hate. And who the hell am I talking about? I'm talking about none other than my guy, Keith McPherson, WFAN personality, content creator, all that good stuff. I'll let him introduce himself. How you doing, Keith?
Bang.
He was a Yankee cap, too.
Yeah, you already know that. I mean, even if I didn't have the Yankee cap on.
What happened to the backwards cap, bro?
I mean, there's a logo somewhere on me at all times. Like, it's nothing. It's really nothing. They know who I am. Man. They know what type of time I'm on. I appreciate the intro. You made me think. I'm like, damn, that's how I became a villain. Because if you're a Met fan, you definitely don't fuck with me. If you're a Giants fan and I came in like heavy Cowboys fan, I'm cooling on that now. You definitely don't fuck with me. If you're a Knicks fan and I came in heavy on the Nets, you like, get this guy up out of here. Like, yeah. I did the opposite, right? So the Mets, Knicks, Giants fan is like, I hate this guy. Yo, and even Rangers, because I'm a Devils fan.
Right. That's right. You adopted the Devils. I know you adopted the Devils because I know you wasn't like really into the hockey stuff like that. Pretty much like
I am now. Devils rolling now. 4 out of 5. Devils winning now.
Right. Nah, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. But yeah, man, I don't even know where to start. But like I said, like I was telling you before, and just like you said, right, when you first come on, and for someone like me who's a little older and I've been listening to the fan for a long time, right, and the fan goes through all these changes and almost like being a fandom of your team and what Met fans are going through right now, right, where we've lost players that we've grown an attachment to, that we've grown this love for, and it's hard to see them go. So as a fan of WFAN, you see older hosts retire or get let go, whatever. Changes are made and new people come in, and here comes this guy, Keith McPherson, and it's like, who the hell is this dude? And he's young, and he's loud, and he's not afraid to share his opinion, and he trolls a little bit, and then he's opposite of every freaking team that I root for. Like, what the hell is this? But, you know, I listen in every now and then because at the end of the day, I'm a fan of the fan. And it's just like I tell people with sports teams. Yeah, you get upset that a player may be moving on, whether it be through trade or free agency or whatever, but I ain't moving on with them. I'm going to still be a fan of my team. At least that's the kind of fan I am. I know nowadays you have a lot of player fans that bounce around wherever their player goes, but I'm a team fan. I'm going to be a fan of the Mets. And I've seen players come and go, and I'm still here. You know what I'm saying? But no, then I get to listening, and I there were things that I liked. Mainly like what you're doing this weekend, which we're going to get into. But I hear you talk to the young guys and talking to them about how you came up and guys asking for advice and you're giving them advice. And I'm like, man, don't really hear that much from hosts on the fan. But just tell us a little bit about yourself and how you even were able to get to the fan. Where did Keith come from? I know you were a quarterback. I think you played college ball, right?
Yes, sir. I rode the bench, but that was my own decision because I was on that party and bullshit every day and night. And when I got to college, I made a decision. I'm not going to the NFL, but I'm going out. I'm going to go out and drink. I'm going to go out and find a girl from the soccer team, from the swim team, maybe a cheerleader. But listen, man, I love what you said about, like, you know, you being old school, listening to the Fan, when I came into the Fan, I wanted to be different. I'm obviously different. I was like the youngest full-time host, not younger than Evan Roberts, but like at the time I was hired, I still am, like younger than everybody that you hear on air full-time. I'm black, so just like right there, right? Tony Page was the only black dude that was in the roster.
Shout out Tony Page, man.
That's my OG. Love Tony. TP is a legend. And he did the overnight like 2 to 6 for like 16 years or something like that. So with me coming in, it was unprecedented. With me coming in, it was unorthodox because I didn't intern there. I didn't board op there. I didn't work part-time there. I didn't go get anybody's lunch or coffee or, you know, be anybody. I didn't make my way up through the WFAN farm system. I came in through Spike Eskin, taking a chance on a young brother. And obviously, I know people like to call me a DEI hire. I hate the term. I'd never heard of it until I got to WFAN. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. People also call DEI didn't earn it. Well, I made it my point to tell my story every day so you knew I earned it. Nothing was given. I didn't just land here by accident. I had to grind. I had to figure it out. And Spike basically found me doing podcasts, doing Talking Nets podcast, Pinstripe Strong Yankees podcast with John Boy, and gave me a chance to audition. And a lot of people were auditioning. If you guys really could think back to the summer of 2021, they had about 8 to 10 people audition. And my audition night, I was terrible. But something happened that night. I think a lot of people that were rocking with me online started tweeting, started adding WFAN, and DJ Mr. C, rest in peace. I remember he called in, and the Mets lost to the Dodgers that night, and I think they pulled Taijuan Walker, and they ended up losing the game late. And so for me, it was like I got on the air, and I wasn't even on that. I wasn't taking calls. I wasn't doing the actual show. I was thinking I was going to be one and done. So I told my whole life story and then I got into it. And long story short, short story long, I got to technically replace Steve Summers. And in replacing Steve Summers, that comes that comes with a lot of expectations, a lot of pressure, a lot of weight. And I just knew that I couldn't be Steve Summers. I couldn't walk in his shoes. I had to be me and I had to be different. And so I found my voice over time and I found my lane over time. And I also listened to other hosts over time and I'm like, I'm not going to be like that. I'm not going to do what they do. I'm not going to act like that. I can't. I didn't come in here the same way the rest of them came in here. I came in through the back door. I came in through a loophole. I came in through a program manager that was there briefly and isn't there anymore, So, I grinded from college and majoring in communication, radio, and television at Monmouth University, where I transferred from. I started at James Madison University, taking a full ride football scholarship there, playing quarterback. I was all state, played in the New Jersey versus New York All-Star game up at West Point. We won the state championship my senior year. And I always loved sports. I played everything. I played basketball. I played baseball. And, after college, it was quiet for me. I did not have any nepotism. I did not have any connections. I did not have one person that could put me on. No one that could put my resume up top. So what I did was, I'm from the Jersey Shore area. I DJ'd, I MC'd, and I promoted in the bars and clubs in that area just to make a couple dollars to stay afloat. The big break for me was the MLB Fan Cave in 2014. And that was my first work experience in the city. And then I started working as a social media coordinator, social media manager at MTV, Fubo TV, and Rock Nation. Once I got this social media game down, once I figured out how to play the social media algorithms and write copy and how to post and how to edit videos and photos, I quit that job and I started on the path that got me to WFAN, doing podcasts, doing vlogs, doing content, and getting noticed and getting seen. And thank God I took that chance and did what I did, because I took another chance and left WFAN, and now I'm kind of back creating content and doing stuff now, and it's way different now what you could do. I could be on Blunt Thoughts with Hector, streaming to my YouTube and my Twitter while I'm watching the Knick game over here, and people are popping up in the chat.
Right. No, that's what's up. And listen, man, like I said, I have a lot of respect for what you were able to accomplish, right? And this is coming from somebody now. I'm older than you. I'm not even sure how old you are, but I know for sure that I'm older than you. Full disclosure, this is Blunt Thoughts. We don't hide nothing. I'm gonna be 50 in a week. Next week, I'm gonna turn 50 years old.
God
What are the
bless.
chances of me getting on the radio, me landing on TV? Probably slim to none, right? If we're really honest. But what I get it. I get it.
We don't know.
Anything is possible. You never know.
I'll tell
right?
you, yo, just finish your thought and I'll tell you what I think about that when you're done.
No doubt. But this is what I respect about you, right? You mentioned Fan Cave. I remember when that stuff came around, I was like, man, that sounds intriguing. Maybe that's something that I should go after, right? I said, I'm an old school listener to WFAN. It's something that.
Did you apply? Did you send a video in? Did you try to get in?
That's the thing, right? I didn't have the guts to actually go after it. Like, I wish I was now. I wish it was now, right? For some reason, I do this now. I don't even know now how, Keith. I did one video, got one like, and I guess that was enough for me. Like, you know what? Maybe I can keep doing this. But I'm somebody that don't even like taking pictures. If you talk to anybody in my family, they're like, we don't know how this dope is out there doing videos on YouTube and Twitter because he won't even take a family picture. You know what I'm saying? He won't be in a video with us, but he's doing that, right? And he'll take a picture and at a game and stuff like that. But I respect for you to know this is what I want to do. This is what I like. And I'm going to go do everything that I can to attain it. And look, it led you to a place that along the way, right? I played baseball. I played basketball in high school, soccer. I didn't play football. You know what I'm saying? My dream was to be a professional baseball player. Once that didn't happen, whatever, you start listening to the radio and you think like, man, I love taking sports. I want to do that. I want to take phone calls and talk to people. But I never had the guts to go after it. Even to the point where you're talking about in 2021, when they were doing it, I had someone approach me and like, yo, Spike is giving people a shot. You call enough that you need to do this, and that. And I was like, man, come on, really? But now here I am doing this. I wish it was now. You know what I'm saying?
No regrets. Everything happens for a reason, how it's supposed to. And do not put any ceiling on yourself. Do not put any ceiling on what your brand can be. Your brand caught my eye on Twitter, right? I saw you in Citi Field. I saw you reacting right after the game. And then just the name itself, Blunt Thoughts. I'm like, this is somebody that knows his brand, knows his lane, is creating something that nobody else has created. And you got to create what there is not, because that's the only way you stand out and fill a void. You got to be different. I just told you I knew I had to come on WFAN and be different, right? I knew when people called, I had to give them a little extra time because I had listened to WFAN and heard them hang up the phone real fast on people. I'm like, I'm going to be different. I'm going to have a back and forth, right? Nobody had ever trolled the Mets fans like I trolled the Mets fans. And little by little, I'm like, oh, this is getting a rise out of people. Oh, this shit is working. I'm like, nobody has ever twisted the knife in these Met fans back on air like this. I'm like, I gotta be the one. So going back to what you were saying though, about like not taking pictures and not really wanting to be on camera, I can tell you're passionate about baseball. I could tell you're passionate about the Mets. So that's different than being in just any random picture or being on camera talking about anything. You got to pursue your passion. And if you can do what I did, which is make your passion and your profession merge together, it's a God dream. It's never work. It's something you wake up and naturally do, and you'll get there because there's more opportunities than ever. And this goes back to your first thought. I'm 50, not me. Why not? Why not? As long as God has put an air in your lungs, as long as you are seeing the next day, you don't know what is about to happen, bro. New media, this social media, traditional media is looking to social media and new media to find the next stars. They're looking to find the next who's who and what's what. How did I get on WFAN and I never had radio experience? How did I get on WFAN and I didn't have a demo? They could look at my social media, right? Shout out to the architect. When I had lunch with the architect, my contract was already signed and he told me, you're the first person I ever signed a contract for without meeting. Because in this modern day and age, there was enough that I could research and look up online about you and see. I had already worked with the Yes Network. I had some videos out there. I had hundreds of podcast episodes out there, and I had enough of a buzz and a name where my bosses were like, done. We don't even need to meet him. This guy wants to come in, take the contract that we give him, take the time slot that we give him, signed, sealed, and delivered. I came out of social media into the traditional media, a pillar like WFAN, a marquee brand in New York sports, Market One, out of nowhere, bro. Out of nowhere.
No, and shout out to Spike Eskin, man, he also gets a lot of hate and heat. He ruined WFAN. And listen, full disclosure, there's things that I don't like about the station and the way that it's gone and the stuff that it does, or maybe some of the guy, whatever. But that's just a matter of taste, right? But bro, he gave people an opportunity. Listen, shout out Al Cintron, who also got a shot the same way, right? I remember listening to his first show.
Me too.
I think like 1:32 in the morning. I think he came on
Boricua.
right after Sal.
As soon as I'm like, bro,
1 hour break, you know, and
T.O. Al, I'm like, yo, this is New York. I'm like, this is New York. We need black people. We need Hispanic, Latino people. It's New York. It can't be all white boys. No disrespect to my white boys on the WFAN marquee right now. But when I heard Al, I didn't know anything about Al. Al didn't have any social media presence. He didn't have any followers. He didn't have any podcasts, but he was getting his takes off my infamous take, and Spike gave him a shot. And I'm telling you, when I was listening to his first show, I was proud. I'm like, damn, I don't know if I had anything to do with this, because I'm also a minority, and I also came in here off of nothing but social media. I'm like, if I made it so that like people saw me and they're like, yo, he's not bad. He's not. You know, he's not that, he's good. Like at first I wasn't good, but like he's not bad. He's getting better. Give somebody else an opportunity, shake it up. And if that paved the way for an Al Cintron to get on, God bless him. And God bless Spike Eskin and WFAN for evolving in the future. My iPhone changes every couple years. You don't like it, but you know what? I got to get the next iPhone, right? Your service is going to change. Your plan is going to change. Your internet is going to change. Your bills are going to change. You're a part, like everything is going to evolve and change. You might not like it, but you get used to it. You get accustomed to it. And that's the same thing with WFAN.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me say something to the people, man. And we appreciate everybody. And I see there's a lot of comments. Quays, hold off on the comments. If there's any good questions, just start them. And we'll try to get some questions to Keith before we get out of here. But if you're in here, don't be a loner. Share this to somebody, especially if it's somebody that's trying to get in the game, not because of me, not for me, but for the gems that Keith is going to drop for them, for the knowledge that he's going to be able to give to them, especially if it's somebody that's young. I get it. It shouldn't matter what age you are. You never know what could happen. But somebody that's out there that's young, that's trying to get in the game, bring him in here. Have him listen in, man. And let's get this out here because I think this is very important what we're doing here tonight. So you got your break on WFN. What was that experience like for someone like me who would love to just go in there and get a tour of the station? And Sal owes me that.
Sal, I was gonna say Sal, they never you did.
Nah. We had spoken about like, yo, Sal, you got to get me in there one day. And then the pandemic hit and all that. And
all right, I'll try and get you in.
One day he was gonna bring me up, then I forgot what happened, and now who the hell knows? I just want to walk around and say I was in here. I was in the building one day.
just to break that wall down and see it. What was it? Me? Everything. Like I said, I went to school for radio and television, so I was on my college radio station the summer of 2011, 3 to 6, pretending I was on WFAN. Like pretending I was a sports talk radio host. I also was a DJ, so I'd mix for 30 minutes. I'd read the news, but I would go through the MLB scores of the day and the topics of the day and who hit 3 home runs and who had a perfect game, no hitter, and I'd interview guests. So to actually get on WFAN, which I'm gonna show y'all something that'll trip y'all out. This is like full circle for me.
Again, man, let's make sure we share. Get this out to the people, man. We usually have a lot more people than this up in here.
Like I told you, I was in the fan cave, right? Mark Malusis came to the fan cave, so that was the first ever. That was the first ever radio host I saw in person. And honestly, I sized him up, and I was like, "Oh, this is the Moose, Mark Malusis." I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, if he could do it, I could do it. And they came to the fan cave, and they gave out these keychains right here.
Oh, nice.
So like, look how beat up this keychain is, bro. This keychain is dirty. This keychain is old as hell. This keychain is scratched up because I've had it on my keys since 2014. So every day I'm leaving the house, I'm looking at that logo. Every day I'm coming in the house, I'm looking at that logo. Every time I'm getting in the car, I'm looking at that logo. Subconsciously, it was with me. And fast forward 2021, I get my opportunity. I go to lunch with Spike Eskin, and the Yankees are playing the Red Sox in a doubleheader. And I'm trying to get to the stadium because like I'm trying to see both games. And Spike's like, "You got time to see the station?" I'm like, "Fuck." I'm gonna miss first pitch. I might miss the whole first inning. But yeah, because like I don't know where this is gonna go. Like he at the time he didn't tell me I was gonna get an audition. I go to the station. I'm wearing a Yankee bandana, Yankee jersey. I'm going to the game. The only person in there, and this is coming out of the pandemic, Craig Carton. So I'm like, oh shit, I get to meet Craig Carton. I didn't know what, like, I don't know. I'm like, and that was the first time I got to walk through those glass doors and see the studio, and it made it real for me. Like, you got to defeat your own ego. And what I mean by that, you got to defeat the thoughts in your head that make you say, I don't have the courage to do this, or not me, or I can't do this. Once I started to defeat my own negative thoughts and my own ego about myself, not ego is like being cocky or braggadocious. We all have an ego as far as what our inner thoughts are. Once you start to control that shit, you can do anything. And so for me, I started to really hone in on that. And I'll never forget my first night. I'll never forget so many nights doing the radio. Some of those car rides home, like there were nights that I smoked the show and I drove home and I'm like, I made it. I did it. Looking up to the sky. My brother who passed in 2015, he lived in Prospect Heights. He lived in Astoria, Queens. He was a city slicker. He left the shore. He went to FIT, graduated, got a job in the city. He loved the city. The city actually took him because he had a rough night one night and never came back from it. But there's so many times that I'm like, damn, what would my brother think if he was in a cab and told the cab, yo, turn on 1019 FM. My brother's on. Or, what would my brother think if he heard me smoking the radio? He'd be my biggest fan. So there were nights driving home where I'm like, yo, we did it, bro. We fucking did it, bro. Like they thought we weren't ever going to be anything. They thought we weren't going to make it. They thought we didn't have a shot. People talked down on me. People said all types of things. It's like the Tony Sunshine and Big Pun song, 100%. And we won't stop. We always knew we make it. Even though you play or hate it, we still made it to the top.
You don't know how much that hit me right now, bro, because what you said about your brother is the same way pretty much about my brother, man. Like, the city, rough night, 2007 for him. And he was younger than me, you know what I'm saying? But for like, I just felt that's why I had to get off camera before I just lost it right now.
You lost your brother in 2007 because he had a night out.
And didn't night out, and it got out of hand, and
yeah. I didn't know that.
Said,
I mean,
man, he loved New York City. The city loved him a little too much. He loved the city a little too much.
Any of us that been in the city know how it go, bro. Like some of them nights can get crazy.
And he wasn't
God bless
even
you.
like,
and God bless your family.
Nothing that, he was just happened to be like, he was part of the group, but whatever. But the point is, just it just hit me because I could feel the same way, like my brother looking down and having that same pride if I had the guts to actually go out there and take the step. But was that like a goal for you or something that you thought about? Because you said, it just came out of nowhere. But was that something that you were like aspiring to get to, or?
I'll put it to you like this. It was a dream. It was a goal, but I never thought it could actually be a reality. I applied to a bunch of jobs at WFAN coming out of college. Every time WFAN had an opening, I applied. I never heard anything back. And then this is more game. Representation matters. There was only one black dude ever in there. And he was on at night, in the middle of the night, Tony Page. And he was so much older. Shout out to Tony. Like, young, I didn't think it was possible. Like, I did not think I would be a full-time WFAN host at the age of 34. It just like it's not something that like it's something you could hope and dream, but how? How does that happen? How does that materialize? I don't know anybody over there. I can't get an internship over there. I don't even know where the studio is. How am I supposed to break into the #1 sports radio station all time, the first ever 24? Like, you know what I'm saying? So of course, when you go to school for it, you want to do it, but it seems impossible. It seems impossible.
Right. And like I said, and you're a little bit younger than me, where it was maybe a little bit more possible than it was even when I was coming up. Think about, I mean, when I was younger, and I'm thinking, like, there's really older people there who you look at their resume, they did this, they did that.
Steve Summers, Don Imus, Joe Beningo.
Mike Francesa,
Yeah, Mad Dog. Nah, and they stuck in them seats for years. They not giving them seats up.
And then listen, Joe gave you a little bit of hope because Joe was a listener and a caller and, went
his
to
story,
Connecticut School of Broadcasting. But I tried Connecticut School of Broadcasting. You know what they told me there, Keith? I went there. And again, I wish I knew what I knew, right? I just went there out of a whim. I had no idea that they're going to make me do an actual radio spot. You know what I'm saying? Like a little read. I had no idea. I had no idea they're gonna stick a teleprompter in front of me and make me do like I'm anchoring a show. You know what I'm saying? So I walk in there and I'm thinking, okay, I look at the pamphlet CSB. Oh, I could do the boards. I could be Mike Fliegelman. I don't know if it was Mike Fliegelman at the time, but I could be Eddie Scasseri. I could be, you know what I'm saying? I could do one of those things. Okay, I could be maybe an update guy. Let me go in there and make me something. All I know is that I love sports. And this station, since I found it, I can't turn this shit off, and I want to be a part of it. And if I can't play, I can't, you know what I'm saying? I want to get in. So I go to CSB. They make me do all this stuff, and they call me and they say, oh, well, listen, unfortunately, we can't accept you because you have too much of a New York accent.
Nah.
I'm like, what? We're in fucking New York.
Nah,
what are you
I hope that's not true. I hope that's not true.
And then I'm like, okay, check this out. I don't care. I don't want to be on air. I do behind the scenes. I do camera work. I just want to be in the sports field. Oh, well, we have to be able to sell you on air, blah, blah, blah. Sorry. And that killed it for me. It was over.
That's racism too, though. They painted it as New York, but that's another way to
right? But
look. I know it, bro. Like I spent a lot of time in classrooms giving presentations. I spent a lot of time doing demos in college and having a professor go over them. My speech wasn't always this sharp. I wasn't always this articulate. I always didn't speak this grammatically correct. I worked on it. And when I was young, I do remember that feeling of like, yo, you can't talk black. Or you can't have a hood accent. You can't speak Ebonics. Have y'all heard Ebonics used in years? Remember that term? Like, oh, you speak broken English. You speak hood. You speak like an N-word. If that is the case, you will not get the opportunity to be on broadcast media 10, 15, 20 years ago. And so, coming up, and it never bothered me because I knew I was going to win. I knew I was going to be smart, educated, and that would propel me. But like off air, outside of class, it'd be like, yo, you talk white. Why you talk like that? Like, dummy, I'm trying to fucking win, right? I can't get up in front of the class and talk like you. I can't get on a microphone and speak to them the way that you speak. They won't understand me. And so even when I came on WFAN, there's people still now like, oh, I didn't know you were a black dude. Well, shame on you. You weren't listening. You were hearing, but you weren't really listening. Basically, what people have said is like, I thought you were white, assuming that a black guy can't be well-spoken, can't be articulate, can't have a good grasp of the English language. It's messed up, bro. It is so foul, but that is a part of it for real. And I'm sorry that they actually had the audacity to tell you you've got too much of a New York accent. Well, you know who's going to understand that? New Yorkers.
Right. Right. But, the dudes think, oh, I got different markets and different distances. And then they called me after that, like, I guess recruiters or whatever. And I was like, why the hell are you guys calling me for? Then my pride kicked in. Why the hell are you calling me for when you guys told me I wasn't good enough? And I'm like, oh, try it again. Come back. And I was like, F you. That's where,
And I understand. I understand.
Screwed up, you know what I'm saying? And then, again, I wish I had started doing this at that time. Which, when this all started, I was like, maybe, but whatever.
Bro, you're good. You're good.
But,
God has you where you are right now. And that's why I said, don't put any limits on yourself, right? Everything happens for a reason. No regrets. There's some people that are never going to start. There's some people that are just hating in the comments. There's some people that just got us blocked on Twitter and they're never going to do anything but be bums. You've started. You've built a brand. You have a show. You have 66 episodes. You have me on your 66th episode. I'm streaming this live on my Twitter and my YouTube. People will see this. And like what I try to tell people all the time too about me is like I've gone on this path and journey, and there are some very influential people that watch my stuff. There are powerful people that are in my following. There are decision makers that are going to watch this and be like, blunt thoughts, Hector. Okay. Noted for when we want to be real, when we want to be authentic, because authenticity is what's winning now, right? Remember when reality TV started and people are like, oh, reality TV, which was mostly scripted, but it gave you this thought that it wasn't just a sitcom or, you know, a fake TV show with actors. It was the Jersey Shore. Let's put that out there, for example. Now with social media, now with these phones, we have a window to see everybody every second of the day that we didn't have back in the 90s, early 2000s. So the people that are authentically themselves all the time are the ones that are going to win, and authenticity sells and authenticity wins. If you want to connect with the actual Met fans that go to the stadium and see Hector, have Hector on your advertisement. Have Hector talk to the fan base. Have Hector market your product to those people.
Appreciate that.
For real.
And I'll be there to do it. As we move on here, and I didn't even ask you how long you had, but you know, you let me know if you got to go or anything like that. So you get to WFAN, and now Keith says, you know what? I want to do something else. I want to do something else with my life. If you don't mind me asking, what was that like? To leave a place that some of us would kill to be at. And here's Keith McPherson. He gets his break. He's there, and we're like, "Wow, look at this!" And I don't know where Keith says, "You know what? Such and such day is my last day, or this was my last day." I forget exactly how it came out, but I know I was like, "Oh snap! Why the hell did he do that?"
The universe never unconnects. Today makes it exactly 2 months since I started my last show on November 21st. That ended in the early morning of November 22nd, and what I'll tell you is, that decision had been made in my mind probably right after the World Series. But I had the thoughts of, I can't do this anymore from about the summer on, from about July, August on. And what I'll say is, I'm a God-fearing man. I'm prayed up. I pray in the middle of the day. I bless my food. I pray at night. If I'm worried, I'll get down on my knees and pray, and I'll ask God to carry the cross and, you know, carry me and you know, bear these things that are too heavy for me. And when I first came into WFAN, I was freshly married. When I first came into WFAN, I didn't have a son. And I remember some people saying stuff to my wife as she got pregnant about like, Keith works nights. What are you guys going to do? And you can get so wrapped up in, you know, this goes back to your ego. You can get so wrapped up in who you are and what you're becoming and what you have to do that you put that in front of every single thing in your life. And I was putting that in front of the care for my son and the marriage, you know, the relationship that I had. And it was causing a lot of chaos at home. For example, if I had a show at 7 p.m., I live in Jersey City, where it could take anywhere from 25 to 45 minutes to drive in, depending on the traffic. And if I needed to get in to do a show at 7, my wife is working full time coming home, and my son is in daycare coming home, and they're usually trying to get home by 6. And there were nights where I wanted to see them, help them, maybe quickly eat dinner with them, give my wife a hug and kiss, give my son a hug. And I got a 2-year-old where like some nights I wasn't there. Yankee season, if it's a big Yankee game or a postseason game, hey, I'm not going to see y'all tonight. I'm out to the stadium. I got to get to the stadium. I'm leaving the house 3-4 o'clock. And I'll go do the show, and then I'll come home and I'll go to sleep. And they've been sleeping for hours, and they get up in the morning 6:37, and I'm dead. I got no energy. You know, those 2 a.m. shows sometimes, man, there was one night, because they kept the Holland Tunnel closed. There was one night, it took me 2 hours to get to Jersey City, 3.5 miles away, because everybody in the city was forcing their way through the Lincoln Tunnel. It took me 2 hours. I didn't go home till 4 o'clock in the morning. Baby gonna get up. Baby gonna get up and yell, scream, cry, need milk, need breakfast. And my wife's got to go to work too. We're not rich. We need both of our incomes. We both got to work. We both worked our asses off to get to New York City from where we were. So I just got to a point, man, there were a couple bad moments, and people don't ever see this, and nobody cares about your business on air. You're there to entertain. But there's a couple bad moments that stood out, one from the night and one from the morning in like October, where I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I physically can't work nights anymore. It's not feasible. It makes it too hard on my wife. And it was breaking my heart to, leave my son and hear my son, I want daddy, no, where's daddy go? Like, and then in the morning, he's getting up and he's loud and he's gotten bigger where he can come bang on the door. I want daddy. And I'm sleeping from 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. and I'm shitty. I'm grumpy. I'm groggy. I can barely get my eyes open where, I basically, talked to my wife about it. I talked to my bosses about it. And I'm like, I can't do the hours. And it's not like a regular job, right? I made my decision not knowing when Craig Carton was coming back, not knowing they were about to change the lineup. I probably would have stayed in the nighttime spot and the lineup would have changed. But when I made my decision and I let them know that, there was nothing they could do. What are they going to do? Like, they can't make me Boomer. They can't make me the midday host. So it's like, are you sure about this? Like, yeah, I've been really thinking about this for a long time, and I think it's time. And the time for me was like, okay, let's get to 4 calendar years. My contract is still good, but let's get to 4 calendar years. And like, I'm not a quitter, and I want to feel like I did a presidential term. I did a 4-year college degree. Mm-hmm. I ran that race at night for 4 solid years. And I became a person that a lot of people know through that. And I'm blessed and I'm thankful for the opportunity at WFAN. And I'm even more blessed and thankful for the opportunities that I still have. I've been on a couple times. I'm on Friday. I'll be on next Friday. Like, they could have said, yo, beat it. They could have said, you don't want to work at night? We ain't got nothing for you. Like I said, going back to, I didn't intern there. I didn't board op there. I didn't work part-time there. I didn't produce anybody's show. I didn't do updates. Like, I came in as a hired gun. I came in not knowing how to do a show, drop me in the deep end, sink or swim. So I'm unorthodox. What I'll say is I've always known when to leave in life. I've never been fired from a job. I've always left jobs. Even in my college career, I was at James Madison University for 2 years playing football. I left. I transferred out. I get this feeling in my gut, in my like soul, in the center of my like chest, into my stomach when I got to do something. And this was one of the hardest decisions I ever had to make. I remember telling my bosses, nobody wants to give up a show. Nobody wants to give up their own show on New York radio, on WFAN. I'm a solo host. What's better than that, right? You can only be a solo host at night and overnight. But like, life has changed for me. I'm a husband now. I'm a father now. And I got to get my household right. And if I get my household right, everything else will fall into place. And 2 months later, it has. This is the invisible season. Y'all can't necessarily see what I'm talking about yet. But like, if you see me popping up still happy and smiling, that's because God is blessing me. And like, I'm not going backwards. I'm not, going in a negative direction. Because I'm prayed up and because I put this on God in this decision, God has smiled on me and said, you did the right thing, son. You did what you were supposed to do. You did all that you could do. You ran your race. I have more for you. I have more in store for you. So, yeah.
And listen, man, and that, in my opinion, deserves even more respect than the grind to get to where you got to, right? Because you put the grind in, and now you're there, and to be able to having even more cojones to say, you know what, this is great, and I may have dreamt about this, but in order for my betterment of myself and my family, I need to move on. And you've alluded to it a little bit. So what's next? What's now? What's Keith doing besides which one of the main reasons why we're here is, wait. I got to have the man up here. I don't know why this happens. Crap. I hate when this does this to me. Oh, you know what? Because I did it on the wrong one.
All
Fix
good.
that later, Quays. My bad.
Yeah.
There you go.
All good.
We got this event going on Saturday. Content creators roundtable you got going on in the West Village. You can tell the people about that and
Let's
what's
see.
next for Keith.
I just threw it on the bottom. If you want to try and present it like that, I put the actual like fly. I don't know if it works. I can speak to it.
Yeah, we could do that. I thought I did a good job of like, I didn't want to do the whole Twitter thing, so I tried to screen capture, but I noticed
we don't have the full text, but there you go. It's a content creator roundtable hosted by me, and shout out to MLB Network. That's the reason I'm verified. I mean, I got verified before you could buy a badge because MLB Network said you're on our TV show and we're putting your handle up there. You need to be verified across platforms so that people know this is who it is. Bet. And the almighty WFAN as well, which WFAN at any given point can reach over 1 million people in the New York market. And when you tell your story for 4 years, it's amazing how many people will know who you are. So what's next is giving out free game, connecting people, sharing the wealth of knowledge that I've accumulated over these years, and telling my story that I did not come up in the WFAN farm system. My grandfather didn't get me an internship. My pops wasn't around growing up. My dad is a carpenter. My mom did hair and nails for a living. We were popped. You know what I'm saying? Like, I made it off of using the internet. I made it off of putting myself out there. I made it off of defeating my ego and not caring what anybody thought about my voice, my face, my hair, my look, my fandom, my takes, and just going for it. And if I can do that shit, you can do it too. Let me show you how. And, every step of the way, I can just show you that, like, nobody gave me anything. I was going for it online, and there's no gatekeeper. So if you're in the city on Saturday, 2 to 5 p.m., in the West Village, Bleecker Trading. It's going to be cold. It's supposed to snow, but we're going to pack that place out. You'll meet other content creators, other like-minded individuals. It's a good spot if you want to network. It's a good spot if you can't think of what to post and you want to interview some people. It's a good spot to just, kill some time on a Saturday and kind of kick off this new year, as my whole thing for this new year is like, the people that are hating aren't creating, and the people that are creating should be collaborating. Like bars, like there's a lot of people hating on us for getting on these microphones and cameras and I guess thinking that we're somebody, but it can lead you to influencer marketing. It can lead you to an affiliate link where you get 25% off of sales. It can lead you, like, bro, I shot a commercial with Ford this year for $3,500 for Instagram. They dropped a car off at my apartment. Like that type of stuff. Like, bro, I get sent free clothes. I get sent free merch. Yo, wear this, tag us, bags, sunglasses. Like, I honestly throw a lot of stuff out because I start thinking about it. I'm like, I didn't even buy this. This all comes from motion. Right now, everything is monetized. I'm blessed. I make money off Twitter. I make money off TikTok. I make money off Instagram. Not enough to live off of, but enough to throw in the gas tank. Enough to put a parlay together. Enough that, like, if I keep watering these plants, it could grow into something. And what it's grown into is just opportunity, man. And there's so many people that are like, yo, I see your videos. Yo, I see your stuff. They don't necessarily listen to the radio, but they've seen me and these young kids. Last thing I'll say is, the guys at Bleecker Trading, I met them. We did a career event in Washington Heights at the Nike Armory.
Was I?
I mean, it wasn't open to the public. It was all kids.
Right. No,
it was all like, Latino, Hispanic kids that live in the area. And what I learned, I show up with a WFAN polo shirt on, WFAN postcards. None of these kids knew what WFAN was. None of them really even understood when I was like, yeah, I'm on the radio. I'm a radio host. Like, they didn't know what that really meant. But then I put my MacBook up and I showed them my YouTube channel. I showed them my TikTok, my Instagram, and they were like, oh, you're an influencer. You're a content creator. And that clicked to me. The guys at Bleecker Trading were right next to me, telling them how they started selling cards online and they opened up a shop. And I was like, yo, I'm like, the future, these kids all want to be YouTubers. They all want to be influencers. They all want to be content creators. Like, it's so much cooler to be a radio host. It's so much more rare to make it to the radio, but they don't care. They don't drive yet. They don't listen to car radios. They don't have the radio app in their phone, but they're all on social media. So if you can get on social media and get some motion on social media, the possibilities are endless.
No, for sure. Yeah, and the radio is different now with the radio. Like you said, they don't drive. But even parents aren't listening to the radio like they used to before and have their kids, catch on through that, right? I have people sometimes now get in my car. I do the Uber thing, and they get in my car, and I'll have the radio on. They're like, oh, I haven't listened to the radio in so long, because everybody's either listening to some, app on their phone, whether it's Spotify, Pandora, whatever the case may be, Apple Music. So, yeah, they're going to know more about influencer and YouTube and stuff like that. And one thing that I heard you say, I think it was in a clip that you posted, like, talking about the show, is and something also that hit home with me is because, listen, Keith, when I first started doing this, I wasn't even comfortable saying that I was a content creator. You know what I'm saying? And that bothered people. Like, what are you talking about? You're a content. I'm like, what the hell are you going to tell me what the hell I am? How are you going to tell me? And how are you going to get upset? Because I, out of respect for people that actually do this, don't want to call myself a content creator, right? And then I came around to it, whatever. But something that you said is, and you just said it now, is your whole idea is to bring people together, bring different content creators together. Why do we have to take shots at each other in order to gain traction? I don't understand that. And it bothers me. And it sometimes is one thing that makes me say, you know what? I don't want to do this because I don't have the energy for that. You know what I'm saying?
No, because you're a grown ass man.
Trolling
because you're a grown
teams,
man. It's immature.
Taking shots at people, like, for what you're putting out, like, and you look like this. Like, no, I don't have time for that.
It's immature. And most of the time, the people doing that are kids, and they're hiding themselves. They're not even old enough to be online. That's why they have to hide behind a picture of Pete Alonso or Aaron Judge or something. And yeah, when you go back to what I was saying, like I don't understand the amount of people that feel the license to knock somebody else that's just doing what they love or living their dreams or trying. And the people that do this, like I do this, we don't hate on other people coming up because we understand the grind. We understand how hard it is. I understood how hard it was to start from 0 followers. I understood how hard it was to like put myself out there and say, hey, click this link in bio, watch my video, watch my live stream, and hope that nobody clown me or that one of my friends didn't try and play me. I did have, when I have one friend that, like, I don't even rock with him anymore. I let this dude sleep on my couch. And I remember in 2018 when I started, he had the audacity. I had like 4 people in my live, and he jumped in there and he was clowning me in the live. Then he hit me on the side like, yo, you think you're going to be somebody? You're nothing. Give it up. You're such a joke. Like, what do you think you're doing? I quit my job working at Rock Nation, Jay-Z's company, and a lot of people thought I lost my mind. And he's like, you had a good job. You quit that job to do what? Make podcasts and live streams on your couch, in your basement, in your living room? You're a clown. And fast forward a couple years, he started his gambling page like 4 or 5 years after, and he reached out, yo, can you give me a bump? Can you give me a retweet? Yo, can you? No.
Hell fucking no.
SMD. Like, no. FOH. Like, no. Lose my number. I'll never forget that, bro. Because back when we were coming up, I looked out for you. You've been to my house. I've been to your house. My mom knows you. Your pops know me. Like, we came up together. And when you saw me doing something for me that I loved, that I was passionate about, that I was literally taking a chance on, you didn't support me. You clowned me. You went out of your way to tell me I sucked, I was going to fail, and I didn't know what I was doing. And then when you saw I got motion, and you saw other people endorse me, and you saw me in a Yes Network commercial, and you saw me pop up here, and you saw me with this brand deal and that, then you want to spin the block and say, hey, can you help me? And then when I didn't help you, get all mad. I didn't forget. Delete my number. Blocked all your accounts. Blocked. So, man, just show love. It costs you nothing to show somebody love. It costs you nothing to help somebody out. And you know what? There's too many people that are up here that they don't even have time to do a live stream with Hector on a Wednesday night because they're too big. You know, in their mind, nah. I'm watching a Knicks game. I'm watching a Knicks game too. The Knicks are up 62-38. It's not much of a game to watch. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll never be that way. And mark my words, I'm only gonna get bigger. I've only gotten bigger year after year, humbly. But like I always have this phrase that I say, I'm great, not greater than. I'm gonna make shirts that say the word great, not, and then the greater than symbol. Because I'm great, but I'm not greater than anybody. I've been on the bottom, bro. I used to drive Lyft Uber. I got over 700 Lyft Uber rides. I used to do Uber Eats, walk into people's crib, bringing them McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? I worked at restaurants. I was popped. Like I sold everything I had. I sold my Jordans that I kept clean. 10 pairs of my favorite Jordans to survive. I sold collector's items, Derek Jeter signed stuff. I sold anything and everything, bro. When I was living in Jersey City, I sold my dining room table. 4 Mexican ladies came in with wrenches and screwdrivers, bust that shit down, put it in a truck and left. Like I'm not making it up. Like I've been on the bottom of shit. So like when somebody reaches out to me for help or somebody's looking for a lifeline, or I could just tell somebody's hoping that I send the rope down, I send it down. You don't know what you could do to help somebody. You don't know who admires you, that just giving them the time of day can change their day. I can't tell you through the radio how many people's lives I've touched. And when they told me the story, it brought me to tears. I got like 5 or 6 stories. Somebody that was about to commit suicide and didn't do it. Someone who was listening to me as their mother died. Someone who was listening to me as they went to go see their brother and their brother was withering away, dying from cancer. Like somebody who was locked up. Like I have people that have wrote letters to me at WFAN. I just was this is the last time I was at WFAN and I was picking up my mail. And I just got back to these people. I have wrote letters to people back. You know, I'll sit here and try and decipher somebody's handwriting. Like, we are human beings. You live one time. God didn't make you any better than anybody else. You bleed like everybody else. So don't walk around like you're better than somebody. And even if you're hiding behind a screen, a keyboard, a phone, stop hating, bro. Stop being negative. Stop being nasty. Like, I can't tell you the amount of stuff that I've seen written about myself. And I'm like, wow, these people don't know me. And the people that do know me, they see that stuff and they be mad. Like, my barber's like, bro, when I see people hating on you, it make me so mad. Like, they don't know where you came from. They don't know what it took to get there. They don't know who you are. And he's like, I guess it just comes with the territory. And it does. It comes with the territory. More money, more problems. And when you're a public figure and you're in the spotlight, you got to wear it. You got to learn how to handle it. You got to take it. And I've learned. I'm immune to it now. But I'm not going to turn around and do that to somebody else. So anybody watching this, I appreciate y'all watching this. I see y'all in the chat. And like Hector, like I said, I noticed your grind. I noticed you popping up, you know, after Mets losses, giving your blunt thoughts and then building your brand. And I saw it brick by brick starting to build. And then I saw you were connected to Sal. Then I saw you at Fanatics Fest. And then you were calling the radio. And I put 2 and 2 together that was you calling the radio. And then you called my show. And I'm like, yo, how could I not fuck with this guy?
Appreciate that. And that was cool, man, when I mentioned that day. And I remember I posted, and I think that picture didn't go through. You know, Twitter be acting up sometimes. And I remember posting that pic saying, like, yo, finally got to meet Keith, and he's not really as bad as we think, man, fans. This guy's a cool dude, man. Because I was watching, and you did a little bit of a spot there with Sal, and I saw how you carried yourself with the people, and I'm like, you see, man, we get these impressions of these guys, and, you know, the trolling and the stuff. And shout out to my guy, Kenny. And, yeah, man, if anybody got any questions for Keith as we try to transition here and talk a little bit of Mets and Yankees, and then I try to let him go back to his family. But Kenny said something earlier that I wanted to bring up. Crap, I lost it. But my guy Kenny, who's a big fan of yours, listens to you. You used to listen to you, obviously, and not Ken anymore. But yeah, if anybody has any questions or anything like that, pop them up and we'll try to bring them up. But nah, man, again, much respect. And when I saw this event, and I saw the video, and you talking about, yo, we need to have, because yes, the haters, the trolls, the guys you said with the avatars, they're gonna exist. But why do we need to do it to each other? That's
It's
what
not the
really
way.
bothers me. And when I see that, like, that really turns me off. Like, there's no need for that. You don't agree with somebody's take, and they're doing the same thing you're doing. Invite them on your show. Talk it
Right.
out.
Have it
Ask
out.
them to come, you know what I'm saying? Vice versa. Or whatever. Shoot them a DM like, yo, what's up? Or whatever, you know. And unfortunately, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You're this. You're a fake. You're that. You're that. And it's like, it's just doesn't make any sense. But again, Saturday afternoon, if you can make it out, go out there. What is it? Bleecker
Trading. It's
Trading.
96 Christopher Street, West Village. You can get there easy from the PATH train. And yeah, we're going to pack the place. It's going to be cold. It's going to be snowing, but it'll be good vibes in there. It'll be a lot of like-minded people in there and love in there for people that are doing the same thing. We're all in this New York City area rooting for these New York teams. We want to see one of our teams win. We want to be at a parade one day. We just want to enjoy going to games and covering the games and feel that joy that comes from winning and that community that comes from fandom and being fans of the same team. And so, yeah, when I put this like thing together, I'm like, I'm going to get this group of people together consistently, because those haters, we don't ever see them outside, but we're stronger. We have strength in numbers. We're stronger together. And the more of us that know each other, that collab, that do each other's podcasts, that give each other's, you know, tips and tricks and refer people business, whatever, that's how we win. That's how we'll mob. And it doesn't need to be like there's like these cliques and groups that are starting to form, and it's like exclusive to like, oh no. And like, I'm not singling these people out, but like Barstool or John Boy or Fireside, and I rock with people from all of there, or like, oh, like I'm on SNY or I'm on New York Post or I'm WFAN. Nah, why can't there just be a group for regular people, community of New York City content creators that have regular jobs or are trying to make this their full-time job, but aren't affiliated with a bigger brand, and that be the brand? So that's what we're starting.
You know, that's what's up. And real quick, shout out to my guy Anthony. I don't know if you know Anthony, Subway to Shea. He also does Mets. He does a Mets podcast. Does great stuff. Great stuff. Been at it for a while.
I think I've seen Subway to Shea. Yeah, I think I've seen that branding.
Yeah.
Just hit me, yo. Honestly, my DMs were closed for years, and the reason my DMs were closed was when I first got to WFAN. I was small time. I don't even know how many followers I had. But as soon as they leaked that I was joining WFAN, I started getting hate. I started getting racist shit. I started getting N-words and you suck. You'll never be as good as Steve Summers. You're a diversity, equity, and inclusion hire. Oh, you only got hired off of Black Lives Matter. I'm like, whoa. One, I'll beat your ass. No, I'm just playing. I'm like, yo, you're not going to just talk to me any kind of way in the DM. So I turn my DMs on, or I turn my DMs off. I met Gary V at the first Fanatics Fest. I'm a big fan of Gary V. He did my WFAN show, and his right-hand man was in the audience and was like, yo, you were great. And he DM'd me, and I never got the DM. My wife is friends with this girl that was connected to them, and she saw Gary V post me on his Instagram and was like, oh my God, he didn't tag Keith. Does he know Keith? They connected us, and his right-hand man, Tyler, was like, I DM'd you. You never DM'd us back. I was like, my DMs are closed. And Gary told me, he's like, you've been on the radio for 2-3 years now. You plan on doing this? You can't take a DM. You can't take racism and negativity from strangers. And I was like, you're right. You're right. So my DMs are open. Anybody can DM me. And even if you want to send some dumb shit, if you're watching right now and you want to send it through. I'm immune to it now. I'm used to it now.
There you go. So there you go. And that's what's up. Let's see what else we got here real quick. Shout out to my guy Eddie, who I do shows with Eddie too. He got, oh man, I'm gonna screw it up. He got his thing going on. He talks a lot of Knicks. He does Mets.
Oh, I've seen Eddie.
Yeah. Garden City Media. We do Mets Talk Unfiltered together, talking Mets. 2 cycles. And he says, you know, people are so fake. Keith is a real one. And he gets, Keith, what's your best advice for someone who had to move out of New York that does New York content?
I mean, this is gonna sound like a plug, but listen to the fan. listen to the fan, because that's where you get the that's where you get the New York conversations and feel when they take the calls. Like, listen to the fan, because that will give you the pulse of New Yorkers. Try and get back as much as you possibly can, but listen to the fan and stay up on New York stuff and follow all the New York accounts and be a satellite, right? Find other people wherever you are that want to go to the bar and watch the Knicks, watch the Mets. Build your own satellite group. Put up your own flagpole of New Yorkers in North Carolina, in Washington, and you know what I'm saying? Listen to the fan. Find those people online and try and connect with some people. I know it's tough. I almost left. I always tell people all the time, I almost left New York because I was striking out. I was losing. I was popped, and I didn't think it was going to work. I was thinking about going to Atlanta, and I thank God for my wife having my back and believing in me and supporting me and pushing me along, and her being able to work and us just figuring it out. And then I got a couple breaks, and now you can't leave. Now I literally can't leave New York. It would be detrimental to my business if I left.
And appreciate that Eddie says this is one of the best conversations I've ever had, and there's a lot of people that have shared that sentiment. We appreciate you, and I'm glad you're enjoying it, man, because I thought it'd be a good thing. So I'm glad everybody's enjoying it. What is let's see, Bobby, you probably, I don't know if you're taking calls. Bobby says calling Keith one night after leaving college and him not letting me hang up because we were talking baseball. Still one of the coolest nights I did with him. This goes to you saying, like, you made it a conscious effort to give people a little bit more time because you were a listener and you knew what it was like to hear people call and click right away. So Bobby definitely appreciates that.
I'll do a show and I'll open the show for the first 15, 20 minutes and calls start popping up. And then I have a run of show where I'm like, all right, after this break, we're going to get into the Giants. After the next break, we're going to get in. And those calls will still be there. And sometimes people will wait 30 minutes, an hour, 90 minutes. So if you stayed on the phone listening to my show for 90 minutes, an hour, I can't give you 2-3 minutes. I hate when sometimes I hear them on the fan, they give people like 15, 30 seconds. Like, damn, come on, man. They just were on hold for an hour. You've been talking the whole time. Let them talk.
Right. Yeah, that used to be so annoying. And then luckily for me, I guess because I called enough, and we've mentioned him a couple of times, man. Shout out Tony Page. Tony Page is one of the guys that made me comfortable because he would give me time. And, of course, it was late at night. It was probably nice that he needed somebody like me to call and take up some time, right, because you get less calls. But calling Tony Page at night, calling JJ, who would give me time at night, even Moose when he was doing the late nights and stuff like that. That's where I really grew the confidence to stuff. And then start calling during the day and calling Joe and Evan and so on and so forth. And then I called, Big Mike a couple of times for the solo show. It's
also easier at night because it's one host, not sharing a mic with 2 or 3 people.
Right.
And there's less commercial breaks, and we can give y'all time. I get it sometimes too, Craig and Big Mac want to go back and forth and give their takes, and Boomer and Gio, they don't care to hear from callers. And that's like, I get it. Everybody to each his own. But me, I felt like I'm a nobody coming in. I'm still making my name. Your opinion is not any less than mine. That's the point of the show. You take calls, somebody hits you with some, and you go back and forth.
Right. And Kenny asked here, and I guess he means full time, because he just said he's still there and he's still doing shows every now and then, and we'll be doing one on Friday and I forget what other day.
So what I'll say is, I just proved to the world for 4 years that I can host radio shows, New York radio shows, sports talk radio shows. Like, it's on my resume. I'll never erase that 4 years on my resume. I don't know how to put it. So, like, would I ever do like a different time slot at WFAN? Of course. If that materialized, if Craig goes to jail again tomorrow and they need me to host with Big Mac and it becomes the Chris McMonagle show with Keith McPherson, sure. And shout out to Craig. I love Craig, and I don't mean to take a shot at Craig like that, but that's really the only time somebody think about the WFAN lineup. The WFAN lineup only changes around Craig.
Word.
so they weren't going to change the WFAN lineup for me and my at-home situation. So, like, would I still do radio? Yes. Like, and not for nothing. Like, once you do WFAN and you show people you can do a 5-hour show on your own, the people in the industry know who I am, and like I'm smiling because I've had so many phone calls and meetings and conversations with people that are like, oh, we have no doubt that you can host a show. We know you can talk about baseball, basketball, football, interact with people. Like, we know your knowledge is there. We know your speech is there. We know, like, so I would say, like, I would love to be back on WFAN in a different capacity, but that wasn't available for me. I'm still filling in. You will hear me now. Like, time to time you hear Al, time to time you hear Gordon Damer, time to time you hear Ricky Ricardo or Emmanuel or Danielle McCartan. I'm in that mix now. And I'm under contract at WFAN, so I can't go to Sirius XM or ESPN Radio or Fox Sports Radio. But like, this isn't the end of me on radio, especially because a lot of these guys on radio are 50, 60. They're going to age out. So when they age out and they want to see who's got the experience, right here, remember me? And by then, I'll probably be out of here, bro. I might just be a TV guy by then.
Right. No, and listen, maybe time to time you'll hear Hector. Nah.
Maybe, bro. Maybe, bro.
Let's see. Lisa said, God bless you both. Keith, you have a gift. Thank you for sharing with all of us. Yeah, man. Thanks again.
Lisa, thank you. Appreciate it.
Whoa. Here we go. Breaking news. My guy Quays tells me behind the scenes, the New York Mets, per John Heyman, just landed Freddie Peralta. Let's fucking go, baby. Now we cooking. Baby. Let me see if I can find this. This better be true. This better be true, Quays.
They're in talks. Of course. Let's see. I'm on Twitter. I'm like, oh, well, Heyman has me blocked, so I can't even see.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I forgot about that, man. That was funny.
He just said they're in talks. They're in talks.
Don't do that to me. So my bad, y'all. Not breaking news. They're in talks. There you go. See? That's why Keith is a professional. I jumped the gun. I should have checked myself, but I trust the Quays.
Cashman, do something.
Listen, I was hoping we were going to have fun here and talk about. Well, usually when they say Mets and talks to acquire, ooh, man, why would he put it out like that? I know there's a Heyman like whatchamacallit.
I think Heyman because Passan beat Heyman to Cody Bellinger, who's a Scott Boras client. So Heyman is working tonight. He's hoping that he can break this Freddie Peralta news.
Word.
So he's getting ahead of it because you know what? If Passan does break it, he'll say John Heyman had it first.
Yep. These guys with the first stuff. But listen, since we break it, we're transitioning like abruptly there. I was hoping we were gonna have some fun and talk about how the Mets took another free agent from the Yankees back-to-back years, a big one in Cody Bellinger. But you guys were able to bring him back. Your thoughts on that, real quick, for the people here? I'm sure you're happy about that, right? You want to bring him back, no?
Cody Bellinger, of course, because the whole mantra is run it back. The whole offseason plan is that this team won 94 games last year and they shot themselves in the foot a lot. We think we're good enough. I'm speaking for Cashman. Bring the team back for the most part and let's try our luck again. So getting Cody Bellinger was cool, especially getting him for less than $163 million, 5 years, not having to go 6 years. And we knew Cody was coming back. We knew he didn't want to go to Toronto. I was telling people early, he's not Juan Soto. He does not want to be a Met. So, he gets to continue in a place where he had a resurgent year, and I hope he can replicate that. I hope he could do what he did last year, if not more.
How do you feel about the running it back?
I don't like it. It doesn't give me confidence because no two seasons are alike. And you got to always improve yourself, then prove yourself again. That's what I was saying about me at WFA. And I'm like, listen, I need to take some time off. I need to be a better family man. I need to make sure my wife is straight, my son is straight, my health is straight, my sleep schedule is straight, my mental health is good. What I'm going to do right now is improve myself and then come back and improve myself. The Yankees need to improve. Where have they improved? Garrett Cole coming back? Ryan Weathers? Ahmed Rosario? Paul Blackburn? Those are marginal, like, those are depth pieces. Like, even bringing back Cody Bellinger, it's like, what did Cody Bellinger do in the postseason to help the Yankees win? He's a good player, and I know he was hurt a little bit in the postseason, but like they haven't made a move that makes you feel like boom, they just got that much better. I think the Blue Jays might have got a little bit better. I think the Red Sox might have got a little bit better too. I know the Orioles got better because they got your man down there. Like, how many home runs is Pete gonna hit for them? How many runs is Pete gonna drive in? Like, they're better. So for the Yankees to be resting on, we won 94 games and went to the World Series. We won 94 games and lost out to the team that had the tiebreaker on us, and they went to 7 games of the World Series. We're right there. We don't got to do too much more. I think it's awfully cavalier. I think it's a little too casual and confident and comfortable, and I think it's bound to bite them in the ass when Trent Grisham doesn't perform the same, or Judge gets hurt, or you're trusting Jose Caballero to be your everyday shortstop, and he's not supposed to be your everyday shortstop. Ben Rice might not be able to field ground balls at first base. Like, you're pitching like you're not going to have Cole to start the season. You're not going to have Rodon to start the season. Your pitching might not be as strong as you expect it to be. Is Cam Schlittler going to be lights out again? I think so, but like he's got to prove it. I don't know what the hell Luis Heel is. Clark Schmidt is down. I don't know what Will Warren is going to be. Max Fried is a pro. I expect Max Fried to be Max Fried, but what about the bullpen? David Bednar's your closer. He's competing in the World Baseball Classic. Fingers crossed that goes well, that he comes out of that healthy. But in that bullpen, Fernando Cruz, Camilo Doval, I'm not sure what Camilo Doval is going to be. Jake Bird, they traded for him and had to send him down, had to banish him. You lose Luke Weaver, you lose Devin Williams, you lose Jonathan Loaizaga. They still need to add another arm in the bullpen, if you ask me. I think they need another right-handed catcher, another catcher, period, but specifically a right-handed hitting catcher to platoon with Austin Wells. Austin Wells doesn't make me feel confident at all. Austin Wells, he's hit or miss. He's 50-50. He's good sometimes, he's trash sometimes.
Where do you land on, I hear a lot of back and forth with Yankee fans, and some feel like it's time, to move on from a Brian Cashman. He's been around here too long. The game has passed him by. What does Keith land on that? Do you think Cashman is maybe?
I've accepted it. I call Brian Cashman Lord Cashman, our eternal GM. He's not going anywhere. He's not going to ever be fired, and he is not going to relinquish that title until something like health, God forbid, health gets in the way or age gets in the way. He's got a long time to hold that job. And what I always joke on air about Cashman saying is, if they were to hire somebody else, Cashman would have to do the interviewing. They can't fire Cashman because he knows where all the bodies are buried. Cashman does more than trades and signings. Cashman is the New York Yankees. He is the general manager of the New York Yankees. He does a lot of stuff for the Yankees that we don't even see behind the scenes, and he's vital to their existence. They're not moving on from Brian Cashman until he's ready to move on. And you know what he'll do? He'll groom somebody. He'll have somebody waiting in the wings that's handpicked by him. And, yep, this is my guy. Here you go. Here you go. Take this guy.
Yeah, and I gotta be honest, man. For me, a Met fan, looking from the other side all these years, I used to always say Yankee fans had enough of Cashman. Send him over here. I'll take him. I'll take the sustained
He might get y'all right.
That's always evaded us. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Kenny said something here that, hey, you never know. Before we keep on the conversation, Kenny says, heck and Keith, Mets versus Yankee City Field get together with the fans. Let's make that happen this summer. Let's see if we can make something like that happen. That could be fun. Keith is always at games anyway, so.
Oh, that just reminded me. I got to hit up this. I'm going to put in my to-do notes. We were supposed to do hit up New Movement. We were supposed to do a barbecue style tailgate at Citi Field for the Subway Series, July 4th weekend, and it just didn't come together, and it didn't materialize fast enough. So maybe this year we'll run it. And if you guys want to come to Yankee Stadium, I'll be there. I went to the Subway Series 2022, 3, and 4. This was my first year not going to Citi Field for the Subway Series.
Yeah,
this is my first year not going.
Yeah, one of those games, and I try to make a Yankee game. I didn't make one this year. I don't every year, but I try more often than I try to at least make one Yankee game. So even if we don't do a group thing and I come out there, I'll definitely hit you up and we can link up, buy you a brewski or whatever.
Yo, so this stuff is coming out now.
Yeah, I was gonna say like this stuff is like
Brewers have asked on Brandon Sproat, Jet Williams, and potential Freddie Peralta trade. Tobias Myers would go to Mets if the deal is finalized. They're going to get this done. There's no reason for this stuff to be leaking out at this point if they're not about to punch it tonight. Yeah, Mark Feinsand reports that the Mets and Brewers are in deep talks on Freddie Peralta. Joel Sherman basically came out and said he's hearing the same thing that John is hearing, and he said the Brewers have asked on Brandon Sproat, Jet Williams in the Peralta trade. So, like, any minute now, this is going to be confirmed. And this will be a gut punch.
Both of them or just one of the two?
I already have a shout out to my guy Matt from MLB Network. He says the Mets are going to get Freddie and the Yanks get another yacht from Cheapskate Hal. I'm going to be like, chill. See, like, Yankee fans are about to be mad if the Mets make this trade for Freddie Peralta.
Well, because all this week we've heard is the Yankees are in on Peralta. The Yankees are in on Peralta, and the Mets are here signing.
What's the holdup? We traded with them last year. We sent them Caleb Durbin and Nestor Cortez for Devin Williams. What's the holdup?
Right.
Make the deal.
Right. No. Do not let them beat you, David. That's your former team, man. You got to have connects over there, David.
Jet Williams is an outfielder. Brandon Sproat is a pitcher. What's the holdup? Do the Yankees not want to give up an outfielder and a pitcher? Do they not want to give up a pitcher or an outfielder? I don't know.
Wow, this would be something. I've always felt the whole time from the beginning of the offseason, Keith, that Freddie Peralta would be the guy for Stearns. I feel like that would be the guy that he'll be comfortable.
Oh, it makes perfect sense because the Milwaukee connection. He knows Freddie well, I bet.
He knows the guy, so he's going to feel comfortable paying that price. You know what I'm saying? So he pay the price.
And he knows that they need an ace like that.
Absolutely.
They need. I was just talking to what's his name from Just Mets, Michael Barron, earlier today, because he was talking about the strength of the Mets defense up the middle now. You got Lindor, you got Simeon, you got Robert. And I said, the pitcher stands right in the middle of the field. What are you going to do to strengthen that up? And, we went back and forth, and I'm like, this team missed the postseason. This team now has Devin Williams as their closer and not Edwin Diaz. You need a pitcher that can go out there and pitch past the fourth, fifth inning consistently. You need a starting pitcher that can get to the seventh inning.
And
where is that guy?
As high as we are on McClain, and he may turn out to be, very damn good. I don't want to go into the season with this guy like
you can't bank on that
on paper. Like, nah, bring me somebody here to take a little bit of that pressure off. Bring me somebody here who's done it, we can pencil in as the number one starter in a playoff series. And listen, maybe the season plays out and McClain becomes that guy. But right now, going into it, now I need me a Freddie Peralta. I would have even taken a Framber Valdez. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn what he did with the catcher. Like, it is what it is, man. That shit happens. Come on.
Yo, so, I mean, Sandy Alcantara was another name floated out there, but the Marlins aren't giving the Mets Sandy Alcantara in a trade. This makes a lot of sense. I'm waiting now.
Yeah. You and I both, brother. You and I both. And listen, to be honest, Keith, I don't even know why the hell Milwaukee would trade. I know why they're doing it.
Because that's what they do. They're not going to pay him.
Like,
he's a rental. They're not going to pay him. They're not going to pay him.
What the hell are you doing, man? But
and then they might have another.
I think it's like $8 million a year.
Yeah, but they're not going to pay him after this year, and they might have another Miz. They might have another Jacob Mizorowski coming up in the farm system that we don't know about. I didn't see that dude coming from anywhere. Next thing you know, he pops up, big long body Gumby looking ass, throwing 100 miles an hour. I'm like, where'd they find this kid?
Yeah,
he made the All-Star game in 2 weeks. I'm like, bro, what?
Come on, somebody, come on, break this shit already, man.
I was about to say that'll be the last thing, and then I'll get out of here. I'll go take it down. I got to get in the shower and go to bed. I hear
I was just about getting
my
ready
baby
to
coughing in the background.
Mets and Yankee stuff, and we get the hell out of here. But listen, if you got to go, you got to go. I'll be gone myself too pretty soon. I need to get to bed. I got to be up early. But Alta trade be damned. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm waiting on it to break, but I don't think anybody really has it.
And listen, it can't be too far. the fact that so much is getting out like that right now, it baffles me how this information gets out. Like, is it because it's already at the MLB offices for approval? Like, what level is this trade that these guys are getting all of this information? Paragas or what? Paragas or what, LB? Give me more. Give me more. Don't tell me Paragasso. Paragasso broke? What?
There's no way that this doesn't go through because John Heyman will get embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't put your name on this and this not go down. You don't leak this and not know that it's like assured to happen.
That's what I'm saying. It has to be like in the final stages of approval. Never thought Bernie was going. No, that's Harper talking nonsense. Met fans already celebrating. Let's calm down, guys. Don't jump the gun like I did. Man, what a difference does a week and a half make? 2 weeks? A week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, Keith, Met fans did not want to hear it. David Stearns had no plan. He was clueless. What the hell are we doing? This team is garbage. And now, I don't think there's anybody that cannot feel good about what we have going on right now. Let me ask you this, Keith. Let me ask you this, just as a baseball fan. How do you feel about this new approach now that we're seeing, not just the Mets, but it looks like league-wide, where teams are more reluctant to go in these long-term deals, the 10-year deals? Yeah, you got the Juan Soto's the exception. But these short-term, high AAV deals, how do you feel about that?
Well, the first part of it is the lockout. We don't know if we're going to actually have a salary cap, and all the reports are saying that most of these owners are going to push for a salary cap. So why sign a deal for 8, 9, 10 years, and then the salary cap hits, and you're strapped with that for 9 years, 8 years? So I start there, and then also it's just those contracts don't work well. Look at the Yankees with Giancarlo Stanton; they took that contract on. Like, look at the Yankees with DJ LeMahieu. It's like you do these long-term contracts to win the player. And by the end of the deal, the guy is shot and you're stuck paying him money and you're not getting a return on investment.
Right. No, and that's why I'm not upset with David Stern's approach right now. Like, it's frustrating. As a fan, it's frustrating, and you feel like, man, we're losing out on everybody. But I'm someone that used to call the fan and say, I hate these long-term deals. And if I was running a team, I wouldn't give anybody over 27 years old a 10-year deal. And if you were a pitcher, I'm not giving you no more than 5 years. I've said this for years. So when I see it going on now, I'm thinking it's more like, yeah, there's probably something to do with the upcoming lockout or the impending lockout. But I'm thinking maybe his team's also wising up and saying, yeah, you know what? This makes no sense. We'd rather pay you a little bit more in the short term, and it's outrageous, than be stuck in paying you and not being able to get out of it, not be able to do anything when you're like really giving us nothing. So,
and it seems outrageous to us because we're looking at like Bo Bichette getting over $40 million, but in the grand scheme of what these teams make in a year and what these owners are worth, it's not that crazy. It's a small percentage, It's a small percentage, and they much rather smoke that in a year than smoke $400 million over the course of 10 years.
For sure. LB, I looked at Paragazzo, and he has the same thing. The New York Mets are in serious talks to acquire Freddie Peralta. Nothing official. He pretty much has the same thing that we've already seen. And Carlos, I'm right there with you, brother. I'm right there with you. And I've always felt, like I said, like Peralta's a guy that David Stearns could probably feel like comfortable that he could come to an extension with. Just because he really knows the player. Really, really knows the player. So we'll see. But first, let's make the trade. First, let's have the trade become official, and then we'll talk about extension. But I'm really not worried about that. I think that's one that should be easy.
I think it's a done deal, and I think it's a great deal for Met fans. I think you guys will be pumped, and maybe you get some Friday night Freddie at Citi Field where, man, you'll get excited to go to those games knowing like this guy's going to pitch damn near the whole game and hand the ball to 2 relievers or 1 reliever, and that's it. I'm not going to hold you, and I'll talk about this Friday night when I get on the fan. The Mets last year, they didn't make the postseason. Blow it up. There's no reason to hold on to that team anymore. And especially if you're David Stearns in year 3 and you want to really start to carve this thing out as your own, and you really want to start being the president of baseball operations, you start to shed those contracts that you did not sign. You start to get rid of those players that you did not value, and you start bringing in guys that fit your image of the team and the guys that you look at on paper that you think are going to work. And then you go into battle and you see if that materializes, and I think it can. I think the Mets now have a lot of professional hitters in their lineup that are going to give you quality at bat after quality at bat, which wears down pitchers. And you're also going to have a veteran heavy presence in that clubhouse now of guys that have done it. Bo Bichette hit a home run off of Ohtani in the World Series last year. Marcus Semien won a World Series with the Rangers 3 years ago. Luis Robert, you didn't give up anything for him. And I think a change of scenery, him coming to New York, is he Dominican? I think he's a Dominicano. Like a lot of these guys come to New York.
Sure, yeah.
Come to New York and it's a different flavor. It's a different vibe. It's better than losing all those games with the White Sox. The pitching is what you got to shore up now. And Freddie Peralta, boom, right away. That makes your lineup or your rotation shored up in a different way. Then you feel really good about a combination of Freddie Peralta, Nolan McLean. What can you get out of Kodai Senga? What can you get out of Sean Manaea? What can you get out of David Peterson? What's Clay Holmes going to be in year 2 as a starter? You start to feel better about that. You start to feel better even about the Jonah Tongs, and you might have to give up Brandon Sproat here, but so be it. So be it. To get Freddie Peralta, the Mets have to get to the postseason this year. They cannot miss the postseason back-to-back years. You cannot have Juan Soto in his prime and pay him all that money and not get to see his postseason prowess in the first 2 years. I just was doing a stream last night with the 2 a.m. crew, and I'm like, the thing about Juan Soto is he's got the slow heartbeat. And to not put him into the high-stakes games, what's the point of having him, go on a tear in July and August? Like, you want him to do that in October. You got to get that man in October. He can win you a game. He can win you a series.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. And man, I think what you said is important, man. We got to give credit to David Stearns for doing the hard thing, for doing the tough thing, for having the guts to say, you know what? This is just not working. And it's not going to work. And it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt and it's going to frustrate the fans, but I'm going to do it in the best interest of the New York Mets. And it may not work. It may or may not work. We'll see how it plays out. But it's what I keep saying when I keep doing this. I cannot be a hypocrite and act like, yo, I haven't questioned this core before and said, you know what, maybe this core ain't it. And we need to break this core up. And then this guy finally does it. And it was hard because it wasn't a little bit of a, well, change it up a little. It was like, boom, gone, everybody. Nemo, gone. Pete, gone. Diaz, gone. McNeil, gone. It wasn't like, okay, we're going to trade Nemo and we're going to bring in Polanco or we're going to bring in whatever, but we're going to still have Pete around. It was like, no, we're going to take all of your favorites and you're going to have to slowly wait for me to do what I got to do.
I mean, not for nothing. He started that after the OMG season, not bringing back Candelita, not bringing back Jose Iglesias, not bringing back Harrison Bader, not bringing back Luis Severino, not bringing back guys that were parts of that. Jose Quintana, not bringing back players that you went on that run with that were a part of that team. Was David Stearns saying, I think it's a fluke. I don't believe in Grimace. I think I don't think it's valid. I think they got hot at the right time and they can't duplicate it. And then you go get Juan Soto and it all falls apart. Now you've got a different team. That's the clubhouse too. It is going to be a way different clubhouse vibe and feel this year. And I'm interested to see how it plays out. I joked. I was like, I got to go to more Mets games this year. They got some star players over there. I got to go to some Mets games, see how this thing turns out. Because if they get out of the gate and they're winning, Met fans are going to show up and say, yeah, we're with you, David Stearns. Now, if this thing doesn't work and they don't have the pitching and they're getting hit up, it's going to get loud and it's going to get toxic pretty fast.
Absolutely. And to that point, AJ Blanco says, breaking up the core, yes, but nothing has happened yet. You have no idea how successful this team could be, or it could be a major bust. Yeah, you're right. And I just said that. It may or may not work. I know sometimes, my words get a little mumbled or whatever because I speak too fast. But no, I'm not giving you any guarantees. I'm just saying we can't be hypocrites and act like we didn't speak about this before, like we didn't have these conversations, like we weren't uncomfortable or questioned this core. And yes, they gave us a great 2022, and it ended poorly, and they followed it up horribly. They gave us 2024, which OMG, Grimace, Ratty Pimp, whatever the hell you want to attribute it to, and then you couldn't even follow that up either. So, yeah, there are no guarantees, but I cannot be a hypocrite, and I got to give the man credit for having the guts to go out there and make changes, whether we like them or not. Now we'll see how it plays out. Carlos Ramos has one more question for you, I think. Question for Keith. If he was Mets GM, would he take a chance on Zach Gallen to fill out the rotation after acquiring Peralta? Man, you don't want to stop, huh?
I think Zach Gallen has the qualifying offer attached to him, which, I mean, you blew through that with Bo Bichette. If Zach Gallen is down, yeah, but I have a sneaky suspicion that the Diamondbacks are trying to bring Zach Gallen back. But yeah, Zach Gallen is 2 years removed from, starting the All-Star game. Zach Gallen is a guy that I think has ace stuff. I watched Zach Gallen come to Yankee Stadium and shove against us where I'm like, we couldn't do anything with him. So, yeah, I would check on it.
Train wreck. You think this Mets season is going to be a train wreck? Come on, man.
No, there's too many. There's too many good players. There's too many good hitters. It's a caliber of veteran players that have done it before. I didn't even mention Jorge Polanco, but like you have added Jorge Polanco, Luis Robert, Trevor Simeon. That's a quarterback. Marcus Simeon. Bo Bichette. That is a level of players that have played and done it in the postseason. If you get this team to the postseason, they're going to be ready for the bright lights. Lindor, Soto.
No, listen.
It's the pitching. You need to make this Freddie Peralta move and maybe buy another arm to shore up the rotation. I always tell folks, it's not 5. You need about 10 starters every year.
Yeah.
Because guys are going to go down. You need about 10 starters every year. And if you're dipping that far into your farm system for those starters, it ain't going to work. It ain't going to work. Between the trade deadline, and that's another thing too, you could sign a guy now or trade for a guy now and still trade for another arm by the deadline.
Yep. AJ says, clubhouse culture is what will make or break this season. I'll be honest, I think a lot lies on Soto. Listen, some people will tell you that the clubhouse culture broke this past season. So I don't dismiss that. Some people dismiss it, what comes first, chemistry or winning or chemistry. I think it could go both ways. I think it goes hand in hand. I think a mediocre team, an average team, could win more than you would think on paper because of good chemistry. You know what I'm saying? And I also think a good, talented team could be destroyed because of bad chemistry. And then again, it could not matter. So many things could be true. The only way to find out is by letting the games play out. The games aren't played here in Blunt Thoughts, stream. They're not played on paper. The game of baseball is played on dirt and grass. That's it. That's the bottom line.
Soto just wants to come to work. And I think guys like Bo Bichette and Marcus Simeon, their relationship that they had in Toronto, they're going to lead by example. Lindor's going to lead by example. Soto just wants to come into the ballpark, get his work in, and go perform and go home and be with his family. So, they don't need Soto to be the clubhouse rah-rah leader, but there does need to be some chemistry and some vibe there. Bring Marte back. Bring Marte back.
That might just happen. My guy Junior, I don't know what's going on with my guy Junior. My guy Junior, man. But my guy Junior says, I like Freddie, but he isn't an ace, in my opinion. He has a 1-3 record, 4.32 RA, and 41 strikeouts across 9 appearances in playoff career. Okay. I get it.
Okay, but if you got to give up Brandon Sproat and Jet Williams to get him.
Yeah, I'll still take him.
And see if he can be better in your pitching lab and in a Met uniform.
Now that does bother me, Kevin, that the political views are getting.
Yeah, I hate that even became a story. Who cares? It's like these guys get paid millions of dollars to play baseball. That shit should not matter.
Right. And who knows if it did, it didn't. It's a story.
Right, and we don't even know if it's true.
We can say, well, look at the moves. The moves should tell you that. I mean, I hope not. And I've said this before. if they're gonna go along the route of now letting politics dictate how they build a team, then we're in
Can't.
fucking trouble. I'm sorry. We're in trouble.
Cannot.
Born Mets fan says, this is another thing. This team is quickly becoming one of the most versatile and athletic teams in the MLB. Defense of the middle is going to be elite. Listen, again, as much as I love these guys, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't watching in the playoffs and saying, man, we can't do this. We wouldn't have made that play. We wouldn't go first or third on that. Or even watching the Mets play against other teams and saying, man, they're running circles around us. And this ain't even basketball. The Mets did look slow and old a lot of times. They did. That's undeniable. So the fact that we're getting a little bit more athletic, I'm not going to say totally younger, but even a little bit younger, hell yeah, I embrace that. And it's something that needed to happen. Definitely something that needed to happen. Yeah, I don't care about Lindor being a Mamdani staff. I don't care about none of that nonsense, honestly. No, with all the respect, Kevin, I really don't care about that. What's up, Miggs? What's up, Miggs? I think you know Miggs, right, Keith? I think you know Miggs. You may know him by another name.
Yeah, Miggs. We're about to get doubled off here. The Brooklyn Nets are about to be. It's 115-61. Like they're about to be down 60.
It's about damn time, man.
That's crazy. But yeah,
time.
Miggs, I'm gonna hit you, bro. I'm gonna hit you, bro, because like I've been talking to the Nets behind the scenes about getting back in the arena, some Brooklyn Brigade stuff. I know they don't do the block anymore. Just trying to get some stuff for the fans together, bro. Sucks right now. I know we got a little bit of motion this week because we were kind of peacocking at how bad the Knicks have been and kind of, daydreaming about those picks and also laughing at the fact that they can't get Giannis because they traded all them picks for Mikal Bridges and then they made the trade for Cat. But yeah, it's quiet for us. We know what the Nets got to do. The Nets got to lose and they got to hit on the lottery pick and get one of these star players that are coming in the draft this year, and then it's on next year.
I wonder if Mikal had a game today, but that guy's been like big disappointment, at least for me. I thought
he's not like that, bro. Even when he came to Brooklyn, they wanted to make him Brooklyn Bridges, the number one. I'm like, sometimes he's like that. For the most part, he's not like that. He's not. He's a fourth option.
Jeez. Yeah, I see. Let's see what else we got here.
Yeah, Mikal Bridges played 25 minutes, had 11 points. He had 4 assists, 4 rebounds. But like this game, the Nets got smacked, bro. They had two quarters where they didn't score 20 points. They had 18 points in the second quarter, 18 points in the third quarter. Clamps. And everybody's asking, where's the defense? Where's the intensity? Where's the want to? Perfect time for the Knicks on their home court to play against the Nets team where there's a little bit of a rivalry there and punk them.
Yeah, now let's see if they can keep it going, though. And let's see if this could be the turnaround, because they've been looking bad, really bad, to the point where I've been kind of like, forget these guys again. Like, I ain't got time for this shit. I'm tired of being teased by my teams, Keith. I'm not.
Damn, Miggs, it's your birthday today. Happy birthday, bro. God bless you, your family, your son, your daughter, everybody. I'm sorry that the Nets are where they are, bro. We had our time. Once upon a time, Miggs, we was in there watching the Nets beat the Knicks 8 times in a row. Now this is the 13th time in a row that the Knicks beat the Nets. Shit, crazy.
Is it really? Wow. That's insane.
13 games in a row.
Happy birthday, Miggs. I didn't know that, man. Happy birthday, my guy.
Miggs will tell you I'm a real one, but I don't need nobody to vouch for me. Miggs know the deal.
Nah, for sure. And he has told me before, like, yo, Keith's my guy. Anytime you're like, yo, Keith's my guy, bro. I fuck with you. I know you ain't a Yankee fan.
If I was a little bit more low key, I'll pull up to City Field with y'all. I gotta hide though. I gotta come out there when it's cold. I'll come out there with a hoodie on.
Nah, you good, bro.
We'll catch a vibe in the parking lot and then go into the game. Niggas know what I'm talking about.
Nah, no doubt. Man, I don't know if we're gonna get that breaking news, Keith, but I don't want to keep you too long. I want to get to my ass to bed, whether this breaks or not, man.
I can't wait to just hit a shower, hit the bed, and hit my melatonin, my magnesium, and read some stuff, and then take it down. But yo, appreciate you, appreciate everybody in the chat. Again, we'll be doing the event on Saturday. If you can get there, all are welcome. It's free. You don't got to sign up. You don't got to buy tickets. It's just vibes and good energy. And make sure y'all support Hector, man. Blunt thoughts. You know, I would get your merch, but I'm against wearing orange and blue. You'll never see me in no orange and blue. Oh, there it is. Did Passengers break it?
That's what these guys are saying. That is done. Let's see. I don't see it yet.
I'm going to Twitter now.
Breaking news.
It's done.
Passing have acquired All-Star Randall Freddie put out in a trade with the new Milwaukee Brewers. Shows to ESPN. Deal is done. Jet Williams and Brandon Sproat. If they need a ride to the airport, let me know, baby. I'll take them my damn self. Let's go, baby. Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
All right. Well, there it is. That's my time to go. The Yankees do not get Freddie Peralta after being in on him. Make sure you guys show love to David Stearns. Make sure you guys give David Stearns his flowers. David Stearns swooped in and took Bo Bichette from the Phillies, and he took Freddie Peralta from the Yankees, so you got something to feel good about.
For sure. And I think we have to say David Stearns has played this offseason perfectly, man. The market came down to him in trades, in free agency. He was even able to get involved in the Kyle Tucker talks. Like, it may not be fun. It may get a little frustrating along the way, but the guy definitely knows what the hell he's doing, man. He definitely knows what the hell he's doing. Keith, man, I appreciate you, brother, man. This was tons of fun. People are saying, do it again. You got to do it again. You got to do it again.
Yeah, once we get some actual games, once we get some spring training, some real games, it'll be more fun to react to.
We'll probably do some Subway Series preview or something like that.
There you go.
Whether we get together or not at the game, and then we'll do that as well. But again, man, make sure if you can make it out there Saturday, go check out Keith. He talked about following my stuff. Make sure you follow him. Tune in on Friday night when he's at the Fan again. Check out his YouTube, all that good stuff at Keith McPherson brand. And all that. Other than that, I'm not hanging out, ladies and gentlemen. We got Freddie Peralta. Good stuff. Keith.
Good night.
I'll let you go, brother. Good night, brother. Thank you, man. Yo, thanks to everybody, man, for hanging out. Appreciate all the comments, the questions, all that good stuff. Now go celebrate, baby. We have a contender. We have a playoff team. For those of you guys that care about odds and all of that nonsense, I think it was 88% or whatever the hell, 88 wins before earlier tonight. It may have gone up to 90, 91 wins, whatever the hell it is. I don't give a damn about that shit. All I know is that we have a damn good team right now. We have a damn good team, and David Stearns deserves credit, man. David Stearns deserves credit. He's played this offseason perfectly. So, we can't bitch. Hey, if you want any more content, we talked about Anthony. Anthony's on right now. I'm doing this thing, reacting to the trade. I know my guy Eddie left here and went and popped up his own thing. He's reacting to the trade. Go check him out. If you want, maybe I'll pop in with Eddie for a couple of minutes. I doubt it, though. It's enough for me. I don't know what the hell happened there. I don't even think I was on screen because I wasn't looking. But anyways, once again, man, shout out to all you guys. No calling number tonight. No calling tonight, Junior. What do you mean, what's the calling number? Now you want the calling number. When the calling number is up, you don't call? Not tonight. I got to go, guys. I really do. But anyways, man, good stuff. Thank you, Lisa. Appreciate it. Thank you, Ortiz. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate you guys. You already know what it is, man. No matter what the hell is going on, even when we have a Yankee fan in the building, we get Mets breaking news, and it's always, let's go Mets. Good night, everybody. Peace.
Full of animals and we made ourselves with minimal. Fuck you, no subliminals. Putting in this work, nigga. That's why they feelings hurt, nigga. Swear we need a hearse cause we rep our shites to the dirt, nigga. If I'm in the club,